But what I wanted to do to kind of kick that off is maybe turn to a few of our speakers and ask them a few questions just to share with the students in terms of career path and development. And it builds nicely on what we heard already from Hector and Matteo. So I'm going to look first at Ivan Davila, if that's okay, calling him out from the audience, sitting here. If we can just move a microphone, a handheld mic, and we'll go to the floor, yeah. Ivan, can you share a little bit about your story, frankly? Just, here you are leading logistics for Nissan in Mexico. You are still very young, I would say. I mean, maybe it's just because I'm so old, but but I would like just share a bit about your path, where you started, how you got to be where you are today.
Oh, thank you. Well, thank you, Christopher, once again for bringing the opportunity for Nissan. Talking about my career for all the students that have the opportunity to be here. Well, my name is Ivan Davila. I was born in Aguascalientes, and almost all my career was dedicated for Nissan. It's a great company for me, and Nissan have bringing to me the opportunity to grow up in different roles. I started to work at Nissan 14 years ago, and I have taken different responsibilities into my career. I started as a paint shop engineer, and then I was taking responsibilities for new models launching, and I have the opportunity to participate in different models, almost 5 models in different factories in Mexico. I have an assignment in CVAC for 2 years for the development of the Frontier MP300. And each time that we prepare a new model, we used to travel to Japan. So until that time, my professional career was dedicated to the manufacturing facilities. And 1 year ago, I received the challenge to take the responsibility for the logistics in Mexico for inbound components and for outbound vehicles as well for the exports. What I can say to you is that never stop to learn. There is a lot of people here that are top masters in the world. Try to learn as much as possible from them. One of those global experts is Gerardo de la Torre. Many times I learn a lot of new concepts from him. You can see his presentation. He have a very global view. So try to be part of this global visibility. Try to learn as much as possible. And don't be focused just in one single concept of the professional divisions. I am a mechatronics engineer, and once I developed my career in the manufacturing, I identified that I have the necessity to learn about the financials. So I take a master's degree on financials. So the technical knowledge plus the financial degree bring me a different view of the business. So try to open your mind always and try to be full dedicated to what you do. Love anything that you do, and I think that this is going to bring a lot of success in your career. And very important concept for me is that the success doesn't come from you alone. You need to work with your team. This is a team building. So recognize your people, recognize when you need something, go to any one of the experts to require support to move all the necessities of your company. That's it.
That's perfect, Ivan. Thank you. So you know Ivan is in the audience if you want to ask some questions, but someone else, because the students who weren't here yesterday, there's someone else you wouldn't have heard from, because you heard from Gerardo this morning, and that is Francisco Bravo from Audi. And during Francesco's presentation, he spoke a lot about digitalization, data science, shifting towards these new skills, and he talked a lot as well about the cultural changes that come with that. But now we're talking to digital natives, right? Paco, the new ones that are coming, we don't necessarily have to teach them everything. I thought maybe we can just hear a few words from you about how you see the skill set needing to develop to meet these needs and some of the cultural aspects that should go into that as well.
Yeah, actually, for all the students, you need to, building up of what Ivan just mentioned to you, love your data. You have to understand, first of all, what do you want to do with technology. In terms of digitalization, you can have the most advanced technologies, you can have the best tool available in the market in your computer, but if you don't know what you want to achieve with it, then you will not achieve anything at all. So you have to start with the small pieces of data. You have to start analyzing what can we improve with these pieces of data that I will have on hand, and then try to understand what else can you do with it, and how can you get profit out of the data that you are having in your hands. And start with the small pieces, even if it is in Excel, even if it is in hand with a pencil. Please try to make really the use and try to analyze, try to figure out what will happen and how can you improve by using technology, by using the methods that you learn in school. We are starting a very ambitious program with the Tec de Monterrey. Mustafa was mentioning a little bit about it. We want to do more projects together with the university because we need to connect the brain, which are you guys in the academy, with the hands and the problems that we have in the industry day by day. And this is the most important part. How do we apply everything that we learn in the school, in the real problems that we have day to day, and then how do we bring them into technology, and how we reflect those problems in the tools that we have available on hand, and then how do we offer a solution for the big problems that we have day to day in our businesses.
Thank you so much, Francisco. I'm going to call on one more perspective before I ask you for some questions, and it's back to Gerardo de la Torre, who we heard from this morning. And Gerardo, what I thought would be interesting to hear from you, your career, as you spoke about, you've had a very international career. We're in Mexico, but it's been, 12 years since you've been based here in the US, Japan for 3 years, I believe also South America. That, to me, is an exciting aspect of a career in logistics and supply chain. And can you share some perspectives about how that developed in your career, and what advice you'd give if that's the direction students want to go?
Thank you very much, Christopher. Hello again. Well, I have had the opportunity to experience a role and responsibility after being in Mexico for many years, in Brazil, and then in the United States, and then in Japan, and recently in United States. And there are many interesting points that I think it's valuable to share. The first one is about recognizing the cultural differences. That is a very important and strong area of learning, because if you do not adapt yourself to the cultural values in that different country, in the way that people celebrate, the way that people gets motivated, the way that people delivers, the way that people finds the opportunities to develop their skills, then you will suffer a lot. I did suffer a lot, to be honest, because I thought I was able to learn the culture, but when you go to the real day-to-day working, operation, decisions, then you have to continuously open your mind to identify those areas where you have to reinvent yourselves, right? The Gerardo de la Torre that was here in Mexico, working with all the colleagues, was not the same one when moved to Brazil. Maybe I was more happy in Brazil. Because people in Brazil do celebrate a lot. They celebrate too much better than, I think, because they found no excuse to just celebrate. And Mexicans, we are extraordinary in celebrating, but of course there is something that it's meant for the celebration. Then being in Japan, I thought I had to even take an advisor. I asked for an advisor because I knew the Japanese mindset working outside of Japan in another country, but I knew that I had to understand the mindset of the Japanese being in Japan, right? So, and of course in the United States as well, it's always a learning experience about how to adapt yourself, number one. Number two, then within that cultural differences, how can we identify the skills, the talent, the capacities, the capabilities, the opportunities, and really speak less and listen more about what people wants to do. I'd like to get back to one comment that Ivan and the other colleague said. For future generations, for the students, the young guys, it is very important that you guys fix in your mind what you want to do. And to do that, you have to make as many questions as possible, because you have to find where you will develop all your skill, and you will bring with your passion and your energy contribution to yourself, to your family, to your community, to your state, to your company. There is people that is always listening, watching, checking, offering opportunities that I'm sure for young generations, you guys will succeed and will be very, very successful new professionals. So please just get motivated. I think that's the key.
Absolutely. Thank you, Gerardo. Okay. Have lots of questions, be motivated. That's a good segue. It's open. Particularly the students, but obviously it's anybody who really wants to ask. We have a question right there, so we can ask our audience to answer. It's Spanish or English, as you prefer.
Okay, so in English.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so for you guys leaders, which are some soft skills that we as students must have to join the companies that you work on?
So the question was, which are some of the soft skills? We want to start with that, Ivan?
Thank you. Well, try to get up all the skills that you could catch. For sure, technical skills, financial skills, manufacturing skills. You need to know the necessities of your customers. Who is your customer in the supply chain behind of you? And who is the customer after you? You need to understand the necessities of the market, how is the evolution of that, and take any opportunity to learn more, as I explained in my previous introduction. When I started to Nissan, I have the opportunity to participate in the Nissan School. So Nissan School is a scholarship program that brings students to the industry and have the opportunity to take a project and introduce in the automotive environment. So it's great. After some years, I received the opportunity by Nissan as well to receive a master's degree. So in my career of 14 years, I have received a lot of challenges, small projects, medium projects, big projects. Take everything, because all of those concepts are going to provide you new skills. And you need to understand as well human resources skills, because as I always mention, this is the most important resources in each one organization. So all skills is going to help your decisions taking in any time of your professional career.
Thank you, Ivan. Great. Well, Mustafa, we have a question here from the very young student.
Yes, thank you very much. Personally, I don't have any question, but this question is very like a general question that our graduate students ask us every day. I just mentioned some points for the students. The first point, my friend Francisco mentioned, start from the beginning, like a simple Excel, okay? But continue, that I can assign, like in Audi, a small warehouse to you. It doesn't matter you are working with Excel or maybe advanced programming. I can trust you, I can rely on you, I can assign you even a simple warehouse to manage, okay? Number two, most of our students in university, in LinkedIn, you can say, they upload like a certificate from Coursera, Udemy, edX, advanced analytic, business, data analytics, or something like that. If I ask them, so, what is the difference between, for example, mean and mode in statistics? They cannot answer that question. Can you work with Excel? No. You have certificated advanced business analytics, data mining, or clustering, something like that. Okay? So start from the beginning, but continue. The talent is, you were not born like a talent. If you try, if you have attempt, so you are talent. Because I can trust, I can rely on you. It doesn't matter, for example, for Audi, you have like a PhD like me, or master, or maybe bachelor. If you can manage, even with simple Excel, a warehouse, so that's okay for me. It works for me, okay? And focus on competitive advantages, not learning or maybe working with different softwares. So tomorrow, you and me have like an interview in Audi, and you are familiar with maybe Python or maybe Excel, and I'm not familiar. Even from now up to tomorrow, so I can learn in the YouTube, maybe the main points, okay? But competitive advantage is how to learn, maybe how to work with different softwares, like to be innovative person, creative person. If you, for example, are familiar with one more language, with German, for example, if I want to be like you, it takes 2 years. So what does that mean? It is competitive advantage. I cannot reach you. And if you grow up with the competitive advantages like a basic and important maybe science, how to learn new softwares, how to work as a team, these are more important than you are familiar with one software or maybe another one. So I'm asking the same question. This is my last point. What is the difference between logistics and supply chain? I don't expect you answer this question because I know that maybe you are not familiar with the accurate answer. I expect from my colleagues, professors, university professors, even those, they cannot answer this question. I don't expect you. So we are in this maybe forum, but we don't care about the preliminaries that one of my friends said that. So start from simple Excel, please work, think more, be creative, like team working, my friends mentioned. Don't worry, you are familiar with R, Python, maybe like MATLAB or something like that. You can learn easily later if you need. These are like tools. Its name is software, okay? Thank you.
Thank you, Mustafa. That's Professor Mustafa from Tech de Monterey, for those of you who didn't know. Yeah, please. I think we'll just reactivate, if you can just start speaking.
Yeah.
It should be on.
It's on now? It's green in here, yeah, it's there. I would like to complement a little bit the answer that the other leaders gave in here. As far as your career passes by, you will collecting in a basket different type of skills. But at the very beginning of your career, a lot of analytics skills will be needed. If you are really good at databases and Excel and Visio or another type of software, business analytics software, Power BI, that will be good for the very beginning. Then you will pass surely to a leadership position, because none of the people that talk in here start on that position ever. It took 10, 15, 20, 25 years or more, okay? And then you will start needing to know or get the skills to interact with people, to negotiate with people. Today, I rarely touch a computer, actually. My job is just to take decisions, and I can do it by WhatsApp, for example, or getting a call. I don't actually need, or I don't even remember how to use our ERP sometimes. But something that I can advise you guys, can you raise the hand who are students in here? Quite a few, okay. So, something really important in industry is an structural thinking, okay? I always say that the people that work for me, I understand an information if it starts on the left-hand side on the very top and it ends on the right-hand side at the very bottom. If you show me parts of information randomly everywhere, I will not understand. Something that you should understand really well is storytelling. I'm sure you understand what is storytelling. Just imagine that you get with your director, with your CEO, with your president to explain a problem and a decision that you took. You will like to know about the storytelling. So start from the very beginning, then explain the core of what is happening, then what the options that you have, what you choose, and what can be the consequences of that. So if you say that on that structure, will be easy for everyone to understand, to rely on you, and to give you the thumbs up or the green light for that idea that you have. Those are some trendy skills that I will say it really worth to know and will serve you in your career. Okay?
Excellent points. Important. We have a microphone. We have another question there. Yep.
Sí, probablemente no sea una pregunta pertinente para esta industria, más bien para la cuestión de las ensambladoras, de las grandes factories, ¿no? Pero en la cuestión de cuando se negoció el Tratado de Libre Comercio en el 2020, una de las cuestiones más, digamos, más delicadas fue nivelar los salarios a niveles técnicos profesionales con los obreros de Estados Unidos, con los técnicos. De luego que el diferencial de salarios siempre fue una ventaja competitiva para las empresas acá en México, pero pues, fue una cuestión complicada por la cuestión de, pues, por cuestiones políticas de Trump. Entonces, la cuestión sería si se ha podido, ¿cómo se ha lidiado con esa diferencial o se ha podido nivelar los salarios y se ha mantenido la ventaja competitiva, claro, por la calidad de la mano de obra mexicana, por el talento y el sistema educativo, las academias, las universidades. Si no es, me disculpo si no es pertinente esta pregunta para este sector.
Hope I get the question right. Voy a responderle en español. Y también para nuestros estudiantes. Ustedes tienen que tener en consideración que los costos de vida en diferentes países tienen también un nivel diferente. Las personas y quienes hemos vivido en otros países sabemos que aparentemente un sueldo que puede sonar muy alto en dólares puede no ser suficiente para mantener el mismo nivel de vida que un salario aparentemente bajo en México. Sin embargo, sí te ofrece un nivel de vida superior al que podrías tener en Estados Unidos cuando conviertes ese nivel de vida al costo de vida de otro país. Cuando hemos vivido en otros países sabemos que uno tiene que nivelar no solamente el tema de los salarios, sino el tema del costo de vida y del nivel de vida en total. Si ustedes piensan ahorita en la situación de Europa, con los costos energéticos que tiene Europa por la situación geopolítica mundial, pues definitivamente un sueldo que podría parecer muy alto para un mexicano en euros, definitivamente no es suficiente para hacer el calentamiento de una casa y mantener la calefacción de una casa en Alemania aparentemente con muchísimos más miles de euros. Entonces sí les pido también a todos los estudiantes que consideren ese tipo de temas en el momento de hacer una elección de un empleador. Ustedes están acostumbrados a un nivel de vida en México, ustedes están acostumbrados a ciertos gustos y a ciertas ventajas que tienen aquí. Yo lo veo con mis hijas, hasta irse de fiesta tiene un precio diferente aquí en México que el que tiene en otros países. Espero que con esto haya yo contestado tu pregunta.
Thank you. Gerardo, we have a question from a student, and then we'll come to you there. So we'll take the question from the student, and then you can perhaps help answer.
Hi. So what's the optimal mindset we need to take if we want to dedicate our lives to the logistics? Is it a more mathematical mindset or a more economical mindset? What type of critical mind we need to take to work in this kind of jobs?
You happy to take that, Gerardo? Yeah? And then we'll come back to you. Yeah, Paco.
Very happy to take that question, and I will go back to the other one. Did you mention mathematical mindset?
Yeah.
Yes? Okay.
The question was
Did
which
you mention
kind of...
financial mindset? Yes. Did you mention statistics, application mindset? Yes. All of them. And I can give you many more. Skills on analytics capabilities, skills on financials, skills on real world, what's going on. You gotta love to have one foot in the job that you do and the other one in what's happening with the weather, with the politic and geopolitical environment, with the economy. You gotta understand what is happening in your industry. You gotta know the industry, right? We are here talking automotive, but imagine pharmaceutical, imagine food, imagine aerospace, imagine whatever you imagine, you gotta learn the industry. You gotta understand what the industry is being driven for. Who are the main drivers? External. So you gotta keep learning what's going on. For that you need a skill, right? You need to check what is going on, follow what are the most influential people in that areas, because then you will continue to develop those soft skills someone said at the beginning. I fully agree with Mauricio about your communication skills, about your listening skills. Sometimes we think that we listen, but in reality we do not listen. Huh? That's a very, very hard skill to develop. And then how to make, example, a complex problem to be explained in a simple way. That's a very important skill. You have the need to make it simple. And yes, all the background of your academics, it's going to be always a very strong toolkit for you to be a successful professional within the supply chain and the logistics. I hope that answered your question. And I would like to take the chance to get back to the other question, which I don't think is a wrong question, to be honest. I will respond now in Spanish, sorry.
Yeah, of course.
No, creo que es una pregunta incorrecta, creo que es una pregunta muy válida. Y mi punto de vista es que, número uno, sí es necesario nivelar los salarios. Claro, porque la competitividad tiene que traer ventajas de un mejor salario, de una mejor calidad de vida, de poder aspirar a tener acceso a una mejor calidad de vida. Entonces yo creo que es correcto, pero si lo vemos en el entorno mundial, coincido exactamente en que lo que cuesta la vida en un país es totalmente diferente de lo que cuesta la vida en otro país, porque las condiciones son totalmente diferentes. Pero lo que sí creo que es el factor común entre un salario en México contra un salario en Europa o un salario en Japón es la competitividad. La competitividad a través de salarios, a través de eficiencias, a través de procesos productivos, cadenas de suministro, que en realidad puedan eliminar todos los desperdicios, que en realidad puedan concentrar en entregar valor al cliente final, al cliente que finalmente es quien recibe el producto o el servicio. La competitividad no es entonces solamente el salario. La competitividad es cómo lo hacemos todos de la mejor manera, en donde estemos. Entonces creo que es una observación muy importante. Yo espero que se siga nivelando, claro que sí, pero también espero que siga la competitividad en su mejoramiento cada vez, ¿verdad? Creo que es lo que yo podía aportar a esa pregunta. Me parece muy interesante. Gracias.
Gracias. Thank you. Thank you, Rada. Thank you. Yeah, we have, hold on, I have one question in the back there. Yeah, where Gavin is, yep.
Bueno, hola, ¿qué tal? Bueno, soy alumno de la Universidad Panamericana y yo quisiera compartirles mi experiencia pues, en estos 3 años de la carrera. Bueno, en la universidad yo pertenezco a Grupo Panteras. Grupo Panteras es un grupo estudiantil en donde tenemos en total 15 proyectos, en donde cada alumno desarrolla las habilidades blandas que uno necesita, además de la parte técnica. Por ejemplo, tenemos pues, proyectos muy técnicos como desarrollar un barco, un auto eléctrico, pero también tenemos proyectos de logística y justamente más administrativos. Y pues justo con estos proyectos, pues, o sea, yo siendo líder de uno, pues yo estaba en un momento en que sabía lo técnico, sabía los principios de ingeniería naval, barcos, principios físicos, pero me di cuenta que me costaba mucho la parte justo de las habilidades blandas. Al principio, pues me costaba trabajar en equipo, me costaba pues hacer un plan para dar resultados. Y pues justo con la ayuda de profesores y experiencia, pues he podido pues, desarrollar estas habilidades blandas que necesitamos. Y no solo ha sido conmigo, también tengo compañeros que dominamos la parte técnica. Estoy en ingeniería mecánica, sé muy bien los principios de ingeniería mecánica, pero me daba cuenta que me faltaba como esa parte administrativa de saber trabajar en equipo. Y pues nos quería pues, compartir que justo en la universidad pues, están esos proyectos para que nosotros desde esta etapa pues, de aprendizaje ya vayamos desarrollando ese perfil que nos va a ayudar mucho pues, en nuestra experiencia laboral. Entonces aquí mi pregunta es, pues, ¿cuáles son algunas tendencias para pues justo desarrollar más estas habilidades desde nuestro perfil pues, estudiantil o universitario?
Yeah, Paco will take that.
Yo les diría, todos esos programas que tienen para desarrollar habilidades, tienen que ir acompañados de un programa para que ustedes puedan desarrollar la habilidad de manejar múltiples problemas al mismo tiempo. En logística yo decía ayer en la conferencia que somos como las muñequitas de vudú, ¿no? Que te están pinchando con alfileres todo el día. Yo llevo 150 alfileres. No me quejo, pero es así. Lo que ustedes tienen que entender es que todos los estudiantes y todos cuando entramos a un trabajo no nos pagan para que todo funcione de maravilla, nos pagan para resolver problemas y tomar decisiones muy difíciles. Entonces, qué bueno que tienen esos programas, pero ustedes tienen que tener un proceso también de autoconocimiento para saber qué es lo que te saca de tus casillas en el momento que tienes suficientes problemas que te llevan al límite. Y eso es muy importante que complementen también dentro de su formación y va de la mano con las preguntas que hacían, ¿qué skill necesitan? Necesitan eso que ya oyeron muchas veces de varios ponentes de resiliencia, significa que ustedes pueden operar a pesar de todo, de todos los problemas y de tener 150 problemas para las 9 de la mañana y seguir operando en una base racional y seguir operando de una manera profesional. Sé que es difícil, pero tienen ustedes que mantener eso en mente porque al final de cuentas en una empresa transnacional o en cualquiera de nuestros socios comerciales que tienen problemas súper complejos que resolver día con día, ese es lo principal. ¿Cómo tomas tú las decisiones en un entorno tan complejo? Y lo que me comentaba aquí mi colega hace un minuto, tener el sentido común de tomar la decisión que va a ser la mejor decisión en términos de maximizar el resultado que ustedes están buscando, no solo para la empresa para la que trabajan, sino también para ustedes. Ustedes tienen que saber mantenerse sanos, mantenerse divertidos, mantenerse contentos dentro del entorno en el que están laborando y además dar el mejor resultado que pueden dentro de la industria. Entonces, si tienen ese tipo de problemas, busquen programas que les ayuden a complementar en ese sentido para que ustedes puedan ser esa generación resiliente que no está buscando una vamos a decir, un placer rápido, una respuesta rápida de satisfacción, sino que tengan cierto amor por los problemas y que tengan cierto amor por el camino que te lleva a solucionar el problema. Gracias, espero haber respondido la pregunta.
Gracias. One thing that's important is in terms of soft skills is also knowing when your audience might be getting hungry. And we do have to go to lunch soon. Okay, we'll do one last point here. Let's do a point here. We'll see with the time. And we're going to, don't forget, everyone's still here to talk to Fabio.
Hola, buenas tardes. Quería aprovechar también para complementar un poquito la pregunta. Una cosa que veo con muchos de los chicos, que una habilidad que hace falta es la visión integral del problema. Muchas veces se ve el problema que está pasando, pero no tiene la capacidad de subir a la montaña y ver el problema como un todo y buscar la solución que sea mejor para la empresa, no solamente para tu área o para tu problema. Muchas veces, ya como se habló acá, hay KPIs que se contradicen, ¿no? Pero no se puede, ¿no? Hay que tener esa capacidad de ver de una forma total. Y en la logística pasa mucho eso, ¿sí? Si nosotros miramos solamente el inbound y no vemos el stock, y después no vemos cómo va a salir la pieza, vamos a tener problema. Si entra problema en la logística, va a salir problema. Entonces hay que tener mucho cuidado con eso. Y otro tema, la visión del cliente. No hay que perder el enfoque al cliente, ¿sí? Ahí va a estar muchas de las contestaciones que va a necesitar en tu día a día, en tu carrera. El cliente, tenemos que estar centrados en el cliente, saber qué el cliente quiere y entregar lo que el cliente necesita. Para eso trabajamos, ¿no? Y si no logramos entregar que el cliente, la empresa no va a ser rentable y no vamos a lograr la perenización de la empresa, que es el objetivo final. Entonces, hay que tener la base, la universidad te da la base para tener la parte técnica, pero eso es el primer step. Hay que desarrollar todo eso de la parte soft y mucho de eso es con la experiencia en la carrera. No hay que tener mucha ansiedad de querer comer todo de una. Hay que empezar la carrera, aprender, ganar experiencia, trabajar mucho en conjunto, crear mucho networking, acá una oportunidad muy buena, aprender de todos y también contribuir y enseñar. Creo que ese puede ser un buen camino para el futuro. Eso.
Gracias. Gracias and obrigado, Fabio Garcia, who will join us in the last session, one of the poor Brazilians who's had to learn to party the Mexican way since coming here. So it seems so difficult. We're kind of at the end, but I will give a privilege to one more student, if it's a student. That's a student, yeah? We'll take a last student question.
Gracias. Hola, buen día. Bueno, se estuvo hablando en las conferencias pasadas sobre cómo las generaciones a lo mejor más experimentadas actualmente están planeando pues lidiar con estas nuevas generaciones, con estas nuevas tendencias que se vienen y cómo ellos están pues justamente planeando trabajar en conjunto. A mí me gustaría preguntar cuál sería a lo mejor su consejo por parte de ustedes para nosotros del otro lado pues de la moneda, que somos los que llegamos a lo mejor como nuevos trabajadores a enfrentarnos pues con grupos experimentados que muchas veces pues a lo mejor es un poco complicado manejar ese trabajo en equipo por las diferencias que hay tanto en formas de trabajo, en formas de pensar. Y pues a veces digo, en lo personal me ha tocado, en la poca experiencia laboral que tengo, pues que esas generaciones más experimentadas son un poco renuentes a esas nuevas ideas, nuevos cambios. Entonces, ¿cuál sería su consejo de cómo nosotros poder tener un mejor acercamiento pues con esas nuevas generaciones más experimentadas que se encuentran pues en las empresas?
Okay, Hector will take that.
Gracias. Lo que yo te recomendaría, si me permites, es ser abiertos en la forma de pensar, recibir los consejos. Ten confianza en que las empresas actualmente también están trabajando con las generaciones de antes. Nos estamos preparando para darles de la mejor manera que lo podamos procesar en conjunto la información. Entonces lo que sí les pediríamos es tengan confianza nos estamos preparando, somos generaciones que hemos pasado por distintos cambios. Nosotros estábamos acostumbrados a, esta es tu actividad, la tienes que hacer y punto. Sabemos que ahora ya tenemos que enfocarnos de otra forma, aprendemos de manera distinta, nos comunicamos de manera distinta. El trabajo de nosotros es prepararnos para poder transmitir la información de la mejor manera posible para ustedes. Entonces, confíen en nosotros, tenemos experiencia en cómo manejar ciertas actividades, estamos preparándonos actualmente para poder transmitir esos conocimientos de la mejor forma posible, porque definitivamente si no los podemos comunicar, estos conocimientos no servirían de nada. Entonces, confíen en esa parte, confíen en que todos los que estamos aquí nos estamos preparando para esa parte. Es lo que yo podría decirte, no sé si contesté tu pregunta. Gracias.